Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make chitlins the way that we do in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I was born and raised. Okay, the potatoes in a bucket, I put them in there because someone told me that they would make it smell better while you're cleaning them. That's not true, they still stink. Those are the potatoes that I'm going to use to make the potato salad that we usually make that goes with the chitlins. That's the brand that I usually buy. I only bought one bucket of 10 pounds because no one in my home eats it, so I'll make some and go and bring it and split it with my mom. I'm just showing you a little bit on how you clean it, where you have to peel the membrane away from the chitlin itself because that's the part that you're not supposed to eat. And I use gloves because I can't stand the smell. Okay, right here, after I finish peeling all of the membrane off, I'm going to rinse them really, really well in the sink. And uh, I'm going to also cut them up in bite-sized pieces so that way they're already cut up and you don't have like this big piece of chitlin on your fork or trying to chew down this big piece of chitlin. I rinse them really well in cold water in the strainer, and then I'll put them on to boil, usually twice, just depending on the way they smell when they're boiling. I'll also soak them in some vinegar before I put them on the stove to boil them. Right here, I'm just making sure that there's no membrane left on them. And I'm going to go ahead and like I said, I'm going to soak them in vinegar, white vinegar. I usually soak them anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It just depends, on how they're smelling to me. It's supposed to also clean them and cut down on the smell. It doesn't really cut down on the smell, but it will clean them. Right here, you're seeing that I'm cutting them in bite-sized pieces. Then I'm going to go ahead and soak them in the vinegar. Excuse me. This is my first time recording actually something on here where you're going to be cooking, so excuse the way the video looks. It's going to be much better. I was using my iPhone and then my battery ran down, so then I started to use my iPad. But right here is where I'm going to go ahead and put them on the boil. That was going to be the first boil. Now I'm rinsing them off, and I'm going to actually, wash the pot out. Pour the water and everything out, wash the pot out, and then I'm going to start all over again with fresh water, and I'm going to put them back on to boil a second time. That's the pot after the first wash and boil. Usually after the cleaning is the part that takes the longest. After they're cleaned and rinsed and everything, usually the boiling process can take you about 2 hours because like I said, usually I'll go ahead and boil them twice. And so, until I don't smell that smell in the house anymore. So usually it only takes 2 times. Um, and then it usually will take you probably like 2 hours because I'll let them boil for like an hour each time just to make sure that I'm boiling out all of the funk, and also to make sure that they're tender, because also while they're boiling, it's breaking down that intestine, because intestine can be really, really tough. And then it'll also it'll tenderize it also in the boiling process. Right here, that was my second boil. Now I'm going ahead and I'm rinsing them out again. Each time you boil them, you're going to rinse them again to make sure that you get all like the sedition and everything that comes out of the intestines. You're getting all that off because you don't want that floating around in your pot. So these are the seasons that I'm going to use. I usually use onion, bell pepper, celery, um, the red onion, and a little at the end. I'll put in a little green onion. That's the red sauce that I usually use for it. Right here is where I'm putting it back in the pot, and I'm going to add all of my seasonings to the pot. This is when you know you're almost there and you're getting ready to eat you some chitlins. Okay, I'm gonna add the. Usually use like 3 cans of 12-ounce uh, tomato sauce. Also, I'll put in the diced tomatoes because I like those too, and it tastes really good in the sauce, and it gives you like this extra little bite when you're eating the chitlins. So I'll add the 3 cans in. Okay, I'm gonna stir it up and make sure that it gets mixed in and incorporated well. Getting every little bit out of that can. You don't want to waste any. And that's the can with the dice that I'm going to put in. No, that's the sauce. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stir it up to incorporate all of the sauce in there. Once you get the sauce and all of your uh, seasoning ingredients in the pot, because everything is basically already cooked, and also I use garlic in there too. Garlic makes it taste extra special. Um, but once you get all your ingredients in the pot and you have your red sauce in there, usually this process goes really fast. So you'll probably cook it because at this point you're just basically warming up the sauce and everything and like getting your vegetables to soften up. So I'll cook that anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, just depending on how long it takes for my vegetables to get soft enough in there so that you know you're not eating like raw vegetables. They're actually softened up and they've also started to cook. I'm going to add some salt. Add a little sugar because that helps to cut down on the acidity in the sauce. Believe me, you won't taste it. It's not going to taste like you actually put sugar in there, and it also helps to cut down on the gas because for some reason red gravy can really give you like very bad gas pains. So down here we'll cut that by putting like the sugar in the red sauce. We'll also put them in our red beans and things like that that can have a high gas content. I'm gonna put a little garlic powder in. Typically you want to put probably like 2 tablespoons of garlic in there, but then again it just depends on what you like. um, I love garlic, even though I put the chopped garlic in. I'm gonna also, like I said, add the powdered garlic to it. Add a little Spanish paprika, gives it that smoky taste. Also, the black pepper, you don't want to put too much in there, so I want to put probably like a tablespoon of black pepper in there. A little chili powder. about a tablespoon of chili powder also. If you would like to know all of the exact amounts of seasons that I'm putting in there, you can go ahead and ask me in the comments, and I'll definitely add that in the comments. I usually see people that cook chitlins on here. I've saw so many recipes, and it seems that everyone cooks them without sauce. And I'm like, how does it taste? Because I've never had it without red sauce. You could also cook this in brown gravy. Also, you can make a brown gravy that tastes good. I don't um, prefer the brown gravy. I prefer the red gravy because it just tastes better. The red sauce because it tastes a lot better to me. But that's just my personal preference. I've tasted it in the brown gravy before, and it tastes fine also. But to me, the red gravy, the red sauce tastes the best. But I've never tasted without the sauce. I see a lot of people boil it and they'll like add vinegar and salt and pepper to it, and that's it. So I guess everybody's going to be saying, where does she come from using red sauce, putting it in red sauce? I've never seen that before, but trust me, it tastes great. Once you taste it in the red sauce, you'll definitely never go back. This is after it's probably been cooking for about 30 to 45 minutes. It's done. I already had my rice ready because I'm already ready to eat chitlins. I usually only will eat chitlins probably once every 2 or 3 years because I hate to clean them. My husband and my son can't stand the smell of them when they're being cleaned. They're always saying, "Don't bring that stinky stuff in here." So a lot of the times my mom will ask me, because she's bad for me too, because she actually encourages me to cook that, and she'll say, "When are we going to eat some chitlins?" And I'll say, "Well, they don't want me to bring it in the house." Okay, and that's the finished product or whatever with the potato salad. I didn't do the potato salad on this video, but if you would like to know how I make my potato salad, go ahead and shoot me a request in the comments, and I'll go ahead and also make a video showing you how I made that potato salad. Thanks for watching.